What's up? It's me, Haley Jones, and today we are here with Melissa Holmes, who is with Local Retirement Group, as you can see in the back, and she is a senior insurance broker. So before we get into all that, as we always do, we have rapid fire. These are the hard-hitting questions of the day. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Like what kind of tea?
I'm sweet tea person, but any kind of tea, honestly.
Are you a McDonald's sweet tea person or a Weigel sweet tea person?
Ooh, neither. Zaxby's.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hot take.
Yep.
Okay, what about chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
What are you putting vanilla on?
Everything. Had it in French toast the other day.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sweet
okay.
potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Football or baseball?
Baseball.
UT baseball, like who are we cheering for?
New York Yankees.
Oh, really?
Ooh, yeah.
How did you get to be a Yankees fan?
Me? My parents are from New York. So,
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
My dad used to hop all the fences when they had three teams, the Dodgers,
Oh, that's cool.
the Giants, and the Yankees. So he'd go from game to game.
Oh, that's fun. So did you grow up here in Knoxville? Like, how did you get here to Tennessee?
How did I get here to Tennessee? Well, that's a good old question. I was born and raised by Yankees in Jacksonville, Florida, which is really the deepest part of the South before you actually hit South Florida.
Yeah.
Southern Georgia, I grew up in. So I went to Texas and I got my master's in geography, and I came here to work on my PhD in geography, and that's how I ended up here in Tennessee. I work with a Burmese refugee group.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, dogs or cats?
Both.
Okay, do you have dogs or cats? Or
Both.
Do you?
Yeah.
So
My
you
little
don't have a
Chihuahua.
Oh, you have a Chihuahua?
Yeah, she's a mix. She's like a terrier mix. She's a bigger one. I have two smaller ones too.
Okay, let's take a hard right turn and talk about business. Okay, so as I said, we're here at Local Retirement Group, and Melissa is a senior insurance broker. So tell us, what is that?
Well, we do everything from your health to your wealth, but this is particularly Medicare annual enrollment. So this is when people on Medicare review their healthcare policies, and there have been a lot of changes this year in Medicare due to the Inflation Reduction Act. They did a great thing in capping drug cost at $2,000. Many people were paying tens of thousands of dollars for their medicines. So they did a great thing in helping seniors cap it at $2,000. But because of that, there have been lots of changes with the healthcare plans and drug plans. So what I do is I go out and I help seniors review that plan to make sure they don't get caught by any unexpected cost associated with their healthcare plan that they're not used to.
What would be an example of like that they're not, what would those costs be?
Most of the plans didn't have a drug deductible associated with them. This year, a lot of the plans, not all of them, but a lot of them have added a drug deductible of $590. So you would have to meet that drug deductible before your insurance company would start paying for your drugs.
So tell us, you said that the max for like your drugs is $2,000, but your deductible is
$590.
$590?
So that $590 does go towards the final $2,000 out of pocket. So that's a good thing. So it's not in addition to that $2,000, but a lot of insurance companies have put that $590 into effect where it wasn't there before. So paying for the medicines, you might get a little bit of a heart attack when you go in January or February, the first couple months of the new year, and find out you have a drug deductible that you have to meet if you don't look over your annual notice or talk to an insurance broker to find out what's happening with your plan.
So is that across the board? Is that for everyone on Medicare that this $590 is now going to be into effect? Or you're saying you need to check your plan?
You need to check your plan. So there's two different sides of Medicare. There's the supplement side, or Medigap, some people call it, and there's the Advantage plan side. So with the supplement side, your drug plan, almost all of them have that $590 deductible. So there's really no getting around that. But with the Advantage plan side, some have it, some don't. So it's really important to review your policy to make sure that you don't have that drug deductible.
So what's the best way? I mean, obviously, I guess people just give you a call and you'll look over their plan. Like, how long does that take? What does it entail? What do they need to do that?
We do a pretty thorough review. So it's about an hour to an hour and a half. We sit down with you. We find out what your needs are. What are you looking for out of your health plan? Because you have the health part. With the Advantage plans, you have vision, dental, hearing, and some even have extra perks like food cards and help with your utilities. So we sit down, we find out what your needs are, and then we sit down and go through your medications, because that's an important part of it too, because all the little co-pays do add up. So it's inputting that into a system and finding out which healthcare or insurance carrier is best equipped to meet your needs.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a really dumb question. If we need to edit this out, we totally can, because I'm showing my ignorance. But, okay, so when it comes to Medicare, is that all senior citizens?
So that's a good question. So everybody is eligible when they turn 65.
Okay.
Okay, if you have, and you have to go on it at some point. If you have credible coverage through an employer, you can take that down the road. So if you're still working and you're 70 and you have credible coverage, you don't have to go on Medicare.
Okay.
But once you stop working and you do not have credible coverage, you do have to go on Medicare.
Okay. So, like, if you're then somebody that, say you're 70 and you're about to retire, you have credible coverage. Like, how, and I know this is open enrollment, so how does that work? Do you you have to enroll during open enrollment, or like is there a coverage period? Like, how does that work?
You have 3 months before and after your retirement date to sign up for Medicare. So say you retire in January, you have February, March, April to sign up for Medicare. After that, you have to wait to the annual enrollment period to sign up for.
Okay. And then is it kind of like just, again, maybe a very dumb question, but like regular health insurance where like you've got different options of coverage? And I know you mentioned like the supplement thing versus, I guess I'm just like, what do you know you need? I mean, I really have no idea of how this even works. So
traditional Medicare, most of the people think of it as the 80-20 split where Medicare picks up 80% of the bill, and that sounds great, and you pick up 20%. So if you go to the doctor and you get a $100 bill, Medicare's going to pay 80%, and you're going to end up paying 20%. So you pay your $20, and it's not a big deal. But what happens if you go to the hospital? You get a $100,000 bill. Medicare pays $80,000, which is awesome, right?
Right,
but you get stuck with the $20,000. Right. So that's when you have a choice, and you have to think: do you want a supplement or do you want an Advantage plan? And a supplement is sort of like the Cadillac version of healthcare.
Okay.
Supplement, you pay your Part B deductible, which is $240, but after you pay that, if you get the G plan, you get complete coverage. You can go to the doctor as many times as you want. You can have as many procedures you want. Everything is covered.
Okay.
So that's like the Cadillac plan. But that does come with a monthly premium, and it starts at about $120. But the thing with that, it goes up every year.
Oh.
And you can't change carriers unless you health qualify after 65. If your health goes downhill and your supplement is now at $300, you have to stick with that supplement. You can't change.
When you say carriers, what do you mean? Like,
there's different carriers, just like, under 65 insurance, we think of Humana or Blue Cross Blue Shield, or United Healthcare.
Yeah.
There's carriers in the supplement
I got it.
world
Okay.
as
So
well.
like the provider.
Yeah.
Okay, got
The
it.
insurance carrier.
Okay,
yeah.
so like with this open enrollment period right now, the big thing is about the deductible coming up. Are there other things that people need to know about?
The other thing is the out-of-pocket maximum on a lot of these plans have gone up. It was around $3,000, and a lot of them have gone up to $4,900. So that's $1,900 difference.
Right.
And most of them are like, well, I never hit that, and that's fine. But what if you have a major health issue? You have a heart attack, you have a stroke, you have cancer. You are almost guaranteed to hit that out-of-pocket maximum. And do you have that money sitting around to pay for it? Or even if you do, would you rather pay $3,000 or would you rather pay $5,000? Right? Why give them more money than they need to have?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I think.
You can. Yeah.
That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
So you really have to review those plans, and some of them have the attitude, well, I never use it, and that's fine. But why give people money that potentially give them money that you don't have to?
Right. So certainly by reviewing like what your current policy is, it's also a way to see, are you going to be overpaying something that you don't necessarily need?
Right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for for people with parents with Medicare, what do they just need to be saying, hey, Mom, you need to go get your plan reviewed? Like what's your suggestion there?
For sure. I think children should be involved in their parents' healthcare decisions, because a lot of them get overwhelmed in what they're taking in, and I think it's important to make sure that the children know what's going on in their parents' life. Especially a lot of these people are very predatory over seniors.
Yes.
If you sit down with a senior, they'll tell you they get 500 Medicare calls a day, and they're really not exaggerating. Their phone rings off the hook. If they pick it up once, someone will switch their health plan, and they don't even know. They thought they were just having an innocent conversation, talking to somebody, and it's all just trying to get commission, a quick commission, and hoping that, they don't see any problems and they get to keep that commission. So, but the thing with healthcare plans, there's networks, especially with the Advantage plans. So if your doctors aren't in that network, you have to pick new doctors.
Okay.
And that's a big thing with seniors. They're comfortable with their doctors. They've been going to them for 20, 30 years. They know all their medical history, and starting over is a big deal. It's a lot for the parents to take in sometimes. My mom's 73, and she gets confused easily, and some hustler comes in there fast talking to her. It's a good, it sounds good, but there's usually a catch when something sounds good. And a lot of seniors are just, they don't know who to trust, honestly.
Right.
So that's my big thing, is sitting down with them, earning their trust. I'm not there to sell you anything. I come from higher education. I'm there to educate you about what choices you have, and at the end of the day, it's your decision to make.
Right.
And a lot of these, I know the younger people in their 40s and 50s whose parents are 60 and 70 on Medicare, they're busy with their families, but they really do need to take time out of their day to sit down with their mom and dad and make sure they get the best coverage for their situation.
Yeah, so what are some questions, or are there any like red flags that you need to be aware of when you're talking about this Medicare change and reviewing your policy and that kind of stuff? Are there things that you would be like, if you hear this, run? Or are there things that what can people ask to make sure that they're on the right track?
A lot of these carriers give extra benefits, such as a food card, and the food card, they're great for the people that need them, but when you give something, they take it away from somewhere else. So if you don't need that food card, I wouldn't go after it, because your cost in other places will go up, like the out-of-pocket maximums, or they'll add a drug deductible, or the co-payments.
Yeah, so basically if they're offering something here, ask, what's that changing there? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's a give and take.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they got to make their money someplace.
Somehow.
Right? They're just not
Right.
giving away benefits.
Right. What if a child like myself, how would you even start that conversation? Like, what would your advice be?
It's hard because a lot of parents become protective because they think, they still have all their faculties, and they very well may have, but, they want to take care of their domain. It's really just, hey, mom, hey, dad, what's going on with you? And start that conversation, because you got to find out what their medical problems are to find out what insurance is best for them. So it's just really having that open communication and finding, you should know your family history to begin with, but having those conversations, what's going on with you? Do you have diabetes? How are you managing that? And a lot of them are like, they're eating their cookies and cakes and they don't want to be told anything different. But it's really just being proactive as a child of a senior, because, they do sort of regress as time goes on, and you become the parent, and you need to take care of them. And, the more you know on the onset of the easier it is on the back end trying to take care of them.
Yeah.
So it's just really being proactive. I don't know if there's ever an easy way to start those conversations, because they are adults and they want to take care of their own business. Right. But at the same time, you have to be proactive about it, because at some point they're not going to be able to take care of their own business.
Yeah. So this open enrollment happens every year, and as we said, is it every year?
Yes.
Like this October
15th through December 7th.
Okay. When is too late to call you?
There's
December
never
7th?
There's never
about this, or specifically, like, I don't want someone to hear this on like December 5th and be like, it's over, or maybe it is. I don't know.
No, give me a call. Give me a call. December 6th, December 7th, we'll fit you in somehow.
Figure it out.
Yep.
So is it best to revisit your plan every year, or
yes, there are changes every year.
Okay.
Most years we always say review your plan because there's major changes, but most years it's just tiny little changes that might catch you off guard. This year it really is important. All the plans have some sort of tweak to them. There are benefits that have either gone up in terms of out-of-pocket cost or have been taken away. Things that you're used to, maybe a flex spending account card, or maybe food benefits have gone up or down. It's just important to review it this year because of that Inflation Reduction Act, and where they put that $2,000 cap on your medicines, which is an awesome thing for a lot of seniors. But if you don't have high drug cost, then you might get the bad end of the deal,
like the short end of the stick, basically.
Yeah.
So what would the bad end of the deal, like what's an example of that?
That drug deductible, that $590 drug deductible. If you're on one medication and you're used to paying $5-10 for it, but the insurance company won't pay for it until you hit that $590, you might be paying $100 for that medicine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
it's kind of also preparation now, like.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just making sure that you don't get hit by any surprises.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to switch your plan if you don't need to be switched. I'm a straight shooter. If what you're on is the best thing for you, it's the best thing for you. And I'll tell you that.
So then also with, is there anything that's specific to like Tennessee and Medicare and all of this, or no? Is it just kind of across the board?
It's across the board, but each sort of region has their own Medicare plan. So our region is Knoxville, Loudon, Blunt, Union, Sevier. I'm gonna miss counties, but Johnson City is its own region. Chattanooga is its own region. Nashville is its own region. So it's not the whole state of Tennessee. Each region has their own set of plans that are unique to the needs of the people in their region. So I might not know what's best in Nashville versus Memphis versus Chattanooga, but I know what's best for East Tennessee in the Knoxville area. So it is important to have someone local review your plan versus someone at a state or a national level. Yes, Medicare is a national program, and yes, we're licensed state by state, but it is important to have a local broker that knows the local plans so they know what best suits you in your area.
Yeah. What would an example of like a regional difference be? If you can think of one.
That's a good question. Just as far as carriers on a broader term, Humana is a really big Advantage plan carrier here in East Tennessee. They probably have the largest market share. But if you go over to Memphis or Nashville, Cigna is a big carrier. So it's even knowing what insurance carrier to go with in each region. Then you have to look at the individual insurance plans to see who has the highest out-of-pocket max, because you want to avoid that if you can, right? Who has the most food benefits, and we're not supposed to sell on food benefits or additional benefits, but that is important to a lot of people trying to get by.
So I'm assuming like on the Medicare website you could see, like, I guess for Tennessee you could see where the regions are.
Sort of. You put in your zip code.
Okay.
And then it shows you the different plans. So if you want to do your own research, you're more than welcome to do it. But that is kind of confusing too.
Yeah.
It just throws out a lot of information at you, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. So maybe if you're a researcher, you like to do that, it might be a good place to start, but certainly call someone.
And a lot of people do that, but it is still important to talk to someone. Of course, always do your own research because you know yourself the best, but it's always important to get professional guidance when talking about these issues, because we deal with it day in, day out. We deal with all situations, from people with, well-stocked retirements to people just barely getting by. So it's a crapshoot every day. You never know what you're walking into. So we have to be well versed in every situation.
Are there a lot of loopholes or no? Like, I would imagine that I'm just thinking, when you said that about like a food card, they're taking money here from there, but if you're not looking at the difference, you know what I mean? It seems like there might be some trickery involved.
Definitely trickery. There's always trickery, okay? It doesn't matter what the topic is, there's always trickery. But especially with the Advantage plan side, Medicare gives rules of basic needs that have to be met.
Okay.
So across the board, there are standards.
Okay.
But the private insurance companies, they have some leeway to offer additional benefits.
Okay.
So dental, some plans have healthy dental budgets, like $3,000. Others don't have any dental associated with them. Some have vision associated with them. Some it's $200, some it's $500.
Okay.
So it's, if someone has dentures, the vision benefits might be more, appealing to them if they have glasses versus on the dental benefits. It's all just analyzing what your client needs.
Yeah.
So you understand the trickery, you understand the gives and takes, and you find whatever plan is best suited for them.
For what they need, yeah. Which could change, which I think is probably also why it's good to do like a
every
check-in.
year.
Yeah.
So you might have have all your teeth pulled out and get dentures, and you use your dental benefits, and that's great. But then you don't need those the next year, right? You need vision or hearing benefits. So we'll find the plan with the best dental or vision and hearing benefits, since you don't need the dental anymore. So it's sort of a give and take, and your needs do change every year. Your medicines may or may not change every year, but definitely if your needs change, you need to reach out to someone.
Right. Okay. I'm nervous to ask this question.
Oh, don't do that.
But it's right now. It's October of 2024.
It is.
And we have an election coming up.
Oh, boy.
And I'm just curious about Medicare predictions about like will the world
Will the world end? No, it won't.
Well, will Medicare, do you think we're going to see like crazy changes again next year? Like, I know none of us have a crystal ball, but I'm just curious. I feel like I can't not ask this question just because this is such a huge thing happening. So
I've only been in Medicare 2-3 years. I don't know. But John, who owns Local Retirement Group, he's been in it for 13 years. I think this is 13th Medicare season. And he said this is his first major change.
Okay.
So do I think there are going to be major changes after the election? No.
Okay. Which is good news, I
Yes,
feel.
it's good news. Most people are talking sort of the Medicare for all scenario where people under 65 get Medicare coverage as well.
Okay.
That's a different scenario.
Right.
But that's a topic for another day.
Another time. Okay, cool. Is there anything that I have not asked you that you're like, we got to talk about this?
Well, we did talk a lot about Medicare because it's annual enrollment, but we do everything from your health to your wealth to make sure that you have all your bases covered. We do long-term and short-term care. We do financial planning as well. So we do a range of things. We don't just do health care, but one hand feeds the other, because if you're paying too much for your health care cost, it's draining the financial side as well. So we sort of take a holistic approach in that respect and make sure both sides of the house are taken care of.
Real quick, I want to ask you too, for people that are relocating here to Tennessee.
Ooh.
And they're retiring, like what do they need to know? What are some of the benefits of Tennessee versus like, what does that look like?
So Tennessee is a great state because of the tax situation. It's like Florida without the extreme heat. I'm a Floridian.
We do have mosquitoes here too, though.
No, you don't. You think you do. Florida's just a totally different beast altogether. But seniors do like the warmth, and we do have seasons here in Tennessee, so that's a little different. But there are a lot of tax advantages, and there's no state income tax here, just like Florida, Texas, and I think there's one other state I can't think of. But that's a big advantage for seniors coming here to retire, and that's why a lot of people go to Florida to retire. But the low property taxes is another big thing here in the state of Tennessee that attracts a lot of seniors to the area. So there's a lot of tax benefits from that perspective, lower cost of living than living in other states. So it's very attractive for people to come here to Tennessee. Plus it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yep.
I mean, I'm partial to East Tennessee, obviously. Like, Nashville's nice. Memphis is nice.
I went to Nashville. Oh, my gosh. There was too many people in Nashville.
It's fun to visit, I think, but...
I'm an introvert. Nope, it wasn't fun.
Where did you go?
I went to Broadway.
Oh, yeah, that's not...
It's not true Nashville anymore.
Well,
it's very commercialized, but there were people
it's crowded.
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go once, I guess.
I went once. I checked the box. Nashville seems like a great city. There's just too many people for me.
Yeah. Come to the east side.
East side.
Yes. Anyways, okay, anything else?
I think that's good for today.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
This has been awesome. I've just myself have gotten a whole new understanding because I literally was walking into this like I don't even know. Yeah. Okay, so tell us again, the open enrollment is October
15th through December 7th.
Okay.
And if you wait till the last minute, don't worry. Give me a call.
Cool.
We'll get you taken care of.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. This was great.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Haley.
Bye.